I think I'm recording. One second.
Yes, you are.
Okay, awesome. Please go ahead.
Just a minute, I'm adjusting my, okay, great. Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedule and for being with us today. Yes, I'm glad to say that after I became a natural health practitioner, that I worked on myself, first of all, and I managed, and currently my autoimmune disorders such as arthritis are in continuous remission. I don't have UTIs anymore, and I'm not an insulin resistant, which is pre-diabetic. I don't have a fatty liver anymore, no high blood pressure, and therefore no need for meds or antibiotic. Therefore, I'm pretty happy and enjoying life to the fullest. Before everything, I would like to present my disclaimer. As you can see from the slide, my recommendations are based on my experience. Can you please change the slide, Irene?
Of course.
Yeah, thank you. My recommendations are based on my experience and the results I have been seeing from my clients. However, I do not guarantee anything. It is your responsibility to use the information delivered in today's webinar in a way that feels best to you. This is not a diagnostic, not prescriptive advice, and it is only education for you to make better decisions for your health. One other thing before we dive in today's topic, if you have questions, please feel free to type your questions in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them at the end of the presentation. Now let's dive in. First, I'm aware that there are many detox programs. Along with experts, and especially during this time of the year, there are many options and offers. At the same time, I also know that detoxification is a comprehensive process, and partial detoxes can be a recipe to failure. The fact is that some are really a waste of money. I believe in complete detoxification, as we are not compartmentalized beings. I managed to say the word. Since I cannot cover everything in such a short time today, I have decided to give you some easy, totally free or inexpensive suggestions for you to try, if, of course, you choose to do so. So if you've been eating healthy, exercising, and quote unquote, doing all the right things with little to no weight loss or health improvements, toxins such as glyphosate might be tripping you up, causing hormonal imbalances, leaky gut, and overwhelming the immune system, and ultimately keeping you from getting the results you are working so hard to achieve. Even small exposures to toxic chemicals have a large impact on our overall health and can contribute to weight gain, fatigue, brain fog, digestive upset, autoimmune issues, hormone imbalances, and much more. Toxins in the body contribute to a sluggish liver, which is our larger detoxification organ, as you probably know. and can start the cascade of many dysfunctions. That includes, again, hormonal imbalances, having hard time shedding pounds, and having energy. But there are ways you can minimize your exposure to toxins and at the same time support your liver and the whole body in doing its job so you can maintain or improve your health. Again, one of the main things could be lurking in your body is Roundup, which active ingredient is glyphosate. Glyphosate is sprayed on crops like oats, wheat, barley, and beans just before harvest, as it serves as a crop desiccator. Additionally, Roundup exposure occurs when people spray weeds as part of their landscaping efforts, both in residential and commercial areas. In 2016, the Environmental Working Group, known as EWG, and you'll see it also on the slide, one of their studies showed that up to 420 toxins have been found across different populations. In this modern world, our bodies are facing the largest toxic burden ever known to humankind. As chemical production and use has increased over the years, we also have a significant rise in chemical-related health disorders, such as cancer, infertility, hormone imbalances, autoimmune conditions, seasonal allergies, brain fog, dementia-like conditions, irritable bowel syndrome, digestive issues, and many, many more. Toxins and chemicals are everywhere, in your water, food, furniture, in the personal care and cleaning products, everywhere. So, what to do to support our body during these difficult times? I'm going to give you a few suggestions on how to offset your exposure to them in order to feel your best self now and always. Probably you're aware that our tap water has chlorine, but do you also know that that is an endocrine disrupting type of chemical? And so is fluoride. We have been conditioned to think that fluoride is beneficial for us, that it prevents cavities. Actually, it is an endocrine disruptor as well as chlorine is, and can be messing with your thyroid or adrenals, your ovaries, all of your hormones. And so having a good water filter in place is super important. Plus, all the other things that are in our water besides chemicals that I don't even have time to get into today. Next, in your home, as I mentioned before, items like your house cleaning products, your personal care products, your skin products, your hair products, food packaging, plastics, etc., can be very, very damaging. Therefore, it's good to switch to glass, stainless steel containers, as plastic are very toxic to us, not just because of the BPA that is in the plastic. There is other stuff in plastic as well that are very damaging, and they're not usually mentioned. Teflon, the nonstick coating on your cooking pans, that stuff is really, really toxic. It's been alleged that Teflon also contains formaldehyde, as do some nail polish. Actually, a few years ago, I don't know if you had the chance to watch it, there was a documentary about the nonstick, the Teflon. And they were showing that in the area where this Teflon is produced, the town, the cows were dying, people had black teeth and many other health issues. So that is really bad. And also because while we are cooking in this, besides the fumes, etc., when they are scratched, the coating, we start eating also the Teflon, and it's even worse, of course. So there are also toxins and chemicals on medications. They come with a lot of fillers, coloring, and additives. Have you noticed the color of some pills, like neon green or blue color? That's not normal, right? So how are they getting it to be that color? It's not, to me, it's not natural. I don't know what you think about. There are also excess hormones. So like I see when I test clients, what comes up, a lot of excess estrogen or estrogen dominance. And that can be toxic to the body too. It causes weight gain and more. Basically, it has a negative impact on the rest of the body. It overloads the liver, as well than it overloads the liver as well. Then the liver cannot do its job, cannot detox anymore. Then we have biochemicals from stress and emotion. So actually, when we are stressed, our body creates negative, harming biochemicals related to that. It is, this is where it is highly recommended to practice some de-stress activities on a daily basis, such as meditation or breathing. They can be very, very helpful and important. All right, so the daily detox solution is we want to decrease the bad stuff that goes in and increase what is going out, the bad stuff, to usher them out, right? So we want to drink, at least now we are, next step is to go to show you some steps to take and how to improve your health. So we want to drink at least half of your body weight in ounces of water per day. That means that if you weigh 200 pounds, you want to be drinking at minimum 100 ounces of water per day. Water is an essential component in one of the detoxification phases for toxins to be moved out of the body. Also, we want to make sure that you are urinating and pooping multiple times a day. Your liver is the major detoxification organ, of course. Plus, the liver is what converts 20% of your thyroid hormone that controls weight gain and loss and energy as well. It also helps you to excrete excess hormones such as estrogen. And as I mentioned before, excess estrogen can cause weight gain, it can disrupt the rest of your hormones, etc. Also, if the liver is not working properly, insulin and blood sugar levels remain high. What to do? Okay, eat organic as much as you possibly can to eliminate pesticides and herbicides is super important. Also, eating anti-inflammatory foods is critical. Some of the top inflammatory foods are GMOs, gluten, dairy, sugar, and alcohol. GMOs, the list of the current GMOs are corn, soy, sugar, beets, sugar beets. When I say sugar, because usually I never use sugar, but it's sugar beets. And in the US, most of the sugar comes from sugar beets. So let me recap. It's corn, soy, sugar beets, canola oil, zucchini, yellow squash, Hawaiian papaya, and cotton. So eliminate these, plus as much as you can, as I said before, gluten and dairy, sugar, and alcohol are highly inflammatory foods. Additionally, you want to exercise regularly, because when we exercise, and specifically when we sweat, our skin is another large detox organ. Toxins leave our body through sweat. As exercising helps to move the lymphatic system, which is the body's natural sewage system. However, unlike blood, the lymphatic fluids don't have the heart to propel them. So we need to help the lymphatic system. Sleep is another super important component because our brain, liver, gallbladder, and our kidneys do their major detoxification work in the middle of the night. So if we are not asleep during critical times for that to happen, or if we are not getting good sleep during that time, our detoxification system can't do its job. Something else I do recommend is dry brushing, dry body brushing. So this is something very simple that you guys can do. You can get a natural brush, bristle brush. That's what I use. And that may, as I said, looks like this, and available at your local health food store probably. Brushing helps to actually move the lymphatic system. So it helps to flush out toxins. As an added benefit, it also helps to reduce cellulite. Who doesn't want that, right? I like to do it before I get in the shower, because then I can wash off all of the dry skin. Yoga is one exercise I recommend to everybody. I found that yoga is one exercise that literally almost anybody can do, even those who have imbalanced cortisol levels or other things going on. It also helps reduce cortisol levels, balance other hormones, etc. So here are my easy detoxification suggestions for you to do if, of course, you decide to do so. First, reduce the toxic load. How? Eat organic, non-GMO and non-inflammatory foods, such as gluten, sugar, dairy, and alcohol. Read labels. Stay away from toxic chemicals. Eat whole food instead of processed stuff. factory-made stuff. Switch to glass and stainless steel containers, pots and pans. Second, increase the detoxification process. How? Sleep. Yeah. Sleep is a major detoxification system, process. Sunlight or daylight. Expose yourself to sunlight, daylight. Even if the sun is not, if it's a cloudy day, no problem. Just stay outdoors. Elimination, as I mentioned before, urinating and having healthy bowel movements is very important. Body dry brushing, water intake, drink half your body weight in ounces a day, but away from meals. Exercise and sweat. Move your body every day, walking, yoga, whatever you want to do without tiring yourself too much, but we need to move, to exercise. Drink dandelion tea. I prefer the organic one. Eat raw beets or beet juice, raw beet juice. Drink or eat lemons and grapefruits. And another thing that I highly recommend to everyone, and I always do it, is gratitude. Yes, gratitude helps to detox, believe it or not. Keep a journal, count 3 to 5 things you are thankful for before you go to bed and first thing in the morning when you wake up. Focus on your breath when you feel stressed or in fear. And why? Because fear weakens the immune system, which is our main defense system. And we want to keep our immune system strong. You can find me on Facebook and also through my website. And I believe that's for now. Thank you for listening and for your time today. And with that, I'll take your questions if you have.
Grazia, two small things. Do you want me to stop sharing my screen, not to distract folks, or do you want me to keep sharing? And should I pause the recording or stop the recording?
Are you asking me or asking?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Well, to me, you can keep, you don't have to keep sharing your screen, okay. But I wouldn't stop the recording, okay. Because if the answers, the questions and the answer might be also interesting and important to everyone else who will be listening and watching the recording. This is what I'm thinking.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Because, my presentation, fine, but, we will have also Q&A, and that might be interesting to everyone else.
And with that, thank you very much for your instructions, Grazia. With that, we have a first question. Do you recommend adding sea salt and minerals to the filtered water?
I don't know what the person C means by minerals. However, let me tell you that yes, I do highly recommend salt, good quality salt. That can be sea salt, Celtic salt, Himalayan salt, and only the Himalayan salt we have to remember that, and I always use I always add salt in my water, and I use about 1/4 of a teaspoon in a gallon of water, and Yeah, the Himalayan salt has actually more than 70 electrolytes, and we are electric people. I mean, we have an electric body. So it's very important. As I said, I don't know what she means by minerals. However, the salt, definitely. But a good quality salt, of course.
Thank you. Did that answer the question of the person? Are there any other questions, please? Okay.
I have a question. There were many things you mentioned, and how do we know, because I think each person's case might be unique, how do you know what to focus on, say, eliminating first or changing?
Yeah, what I recommended are good for everyone because no one needs Teflon, in my opinion, or any other of the stuff I mentioned. And everyone can take advantage, exercising, doing yoga, and the other items that I mentioned. However, as I also said at the beginning of the presentation, the detoxification process is a comprehensive and complex process. And definitely everyone is different. If you want to have a detoxification program, then in my practice, I first do some tests, functional lab tests. I don't do them myself, I send them to the lab. And in base of that, we decide if the person has heavy metals, have other, and then we decide what type of more focused and personalized, individualized detoxification process the person will have. However, again, whatever I recommended is not going to hurt anyone, unless, of course, if the person eats 2 pounds of beets a day, then of course is going to, but if the person eats 1/4 of raw beets a day, or even half, depending on how big the beet is, raw beet, that will help detoxify the body. Any other, is it clear with you, or do you have any further questions?
No, that's clear. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
There is one more question that I didn't have a chance to read yet. That's separate from sea salt and minerals, but from the same gas. What are your thoughts on kelp and other seaweeds? Are they too contaminated from Fukushima to ingas?
In general, they're good. You can buy organic ones, of course. I always recommend that. And it depends also kelp, the company, which company produces that, and where they get their kelp from. I recommend, if you don't have enough information on their label, I sometimes even contact the company and ask them.
Any other questions, please?
No other questions? In this case, I think we can stop the recording, right?
Hold on. Just a thank you note. Thank you very much. Great information. I'm
You're
gonna
very
stop-
welcome.
Thank you. I would like to second that. Very, very helpful. So I'm stopping the recording. Thank you.